There will be a repeat every Tuesday at 5 p.m. NRPmediaJA.com. Reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no.
True Fellowship Apostolic Church, under the leadership of Bishop Errol Ashley.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. I am Kimberly Ashley with the latest NRP news. Here are the headlines. The National Meteorological Service has issued a flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine, effective until 5 p.m. today. Minister responsible for disaster response makes strong defense of ODPEM. Lottery scamming and money laundering continues to be big financial crimes in Jamaica. The Electoral Office of Jamaica is looking for election day workers, plus a mother and 2-year-old missing for 4 weeks. The news today is brought to you by Hepburn's Glass Supplies, 13 Chisholm Drive in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
And now the news. We start with a news release issued by the National Met Service of Jamaica. The National Meteorological Service has issued a flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine, effective until 5 p.m. today. More in this report from Leon Nash.
A broad trough currently located across the central Caribbean is producing a large area of cloudiness with showers and thunderstorms and is expected to linger across the region through to Friday. Additionally, a prefrontal trough is expected to move into the region by tomorrow and interact with the broader trough, resulting in greater instability across the area, especially on Wednesday and Thursday. The forecast is for mostly cloudy conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms, which could be heavy at times, to continue affecting mainly eastern and central parishes through to Friday, especially during the afternoons and continuing into the nights. Additionally, gust winds are expected to affect the island beginning tomorrow. Due to persistent rainfall across eastern parishes and St. Catherine over the past few days and the likely soil saturation, any additional rainfall could result in flash flooding and possible landslides. A flash flood watch means that flash flooding is possible and residents are advised to take precautionary measures. Keep informed by listening to further releases from the Meteorological Service and be ready if flooding is observed or if a warning is issued. Leon Nash for NRP News.
Thanks, Leon. In other news, Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, has made a robust defense of the Office of the Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, for its response to Monday's 5.6 magnitude earthquake. Mr. McKenzie, who is Portfolio Minister for the ODPEM, said the mechanisms to respond to disasters were up within 30 minutes of the earthquake. He said this rivaled anything in first world countries. Mr. McKenzie was responding to criticism of ODPEM's pace of getting out information on the quake and to advise people how to respond to it. The opposition, PNP, and some on social media sharply criticized ODPEM, saying they were slow and not helpful in the first several hours after the quake. Speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, the minister said that Jamaica's rapid response mechanism, which was developed to deal with disasters, was in operation within 30 minutes of the incident. In addition, he said Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who is chairman of the National Disaster Risk Management Committee, gave an update to the country within 40 minutes of the event. The minister said the services, including the fire brigade and the JDF, were mobilized and ODPEM was on top of its game. He said the response to the quake has shown that the disaster response system works.
This rivals the best international practice for immediate disaster assessment and emergency response. And I say this against the backdrop that this event has served as an important test of our response capabilities. And it was proven that the system worked and that the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management is on top of its game, despite what others would like the public to believe.
Mr. McKenzie also gave an update on several areas of public life and public and private infrastructure, but said there were not many details as yet.
The assessment so far is limited. Minor damage to the National Water Commission. Customers are still being provided with potable water. The Jamaica Public Service Company, the minister spoke yesterday at the press briefing, is back in full force. The services that are provided by the two major telecom companies had some struggles. They are fully back. We have seen activities being returned to our hospitals and health centers.
Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie. Lottery scamming and money laundering continues to be the most prevalent financial crimes in Jamaica. That's according to brand communications specialist at the Financial Investigative Division, FID, Garth Williams. The FID is the sole law enforcement agency in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. He said, quote, "We see a lot of lottery scamming cases and we are also catching a lot of these lottery scammers. We see a lot of money laundering," end quote. The FID officer said many people don't understand that money laundering comes in various forms. He says it's not just about a druggist who earns his money and tries to wash it, he explained. Mr. Williams told JIS News that persons are getting involved in money laundering crimes by allowing themselves to be used as conduits for transactions. He said these people whose bank accounts were being used to get criminal proceeds into the bank system are called money mules. Mr. Williams FID has seen many people using their bank accounts to support the entry of dirty money into the system. The Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, is appealing to citizens to apply to become election day workers. Local government elections, thrice postponed, are due by the end of February 2024. The EOJ says it wants to recruit about 10,000 people to help with Election Day. More in this report from Leon Nash.
Director of Elections Glasspool Brown says the office is continuing with recruitment and training, but they are still seeking people to be involved. There are several tasks and positions available to those who apply to the EOJ. Available positions include presiding officers, poll clerks, supervisors, and polling station security assistants, otherwise called one-day police officers. The Director of Elections also noted that persons are also being recruited to provide logistical support. Other jobs are available for work to be done before and after the elections. Interested persons should visit any EOJ constituency office to complete the application form, which will then be returned to the head office in Kingston for processing. Eligible persons must be 18 years and older and have at least a secondary level education. A valid identification card and tax registration number TRN are also required. All election day workers will be trained and compensated. I am Leon Nash for for NRP News.
You are listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com. Reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. This information package is brought to you by Hepburn's Glass Supplies, 12 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston, Jamaica. Continuing the news. The police are reporting a woman and her 2-year-old baby missing for 4 weeks now. In a release issued Tuesday evening, the police identified the woman as 30-year-old Sandrine Dewar and her 2-year-old son as Zachary Byfield, both of Irish Penn, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Police say they have been missing since Tuesday, October 3. Dewar is of brown complexion, about 167 centimeters, or 5 feet 6 inches tall, and sports a dreadlocks hairstyle. Baby Zachary is of a brown complexion, slim built, and about 91 centimeters, 3 feet tall. Reports from the Portmore Police are that Dewar and Zachary were last seen at home. Their mode of dress and the time they went missing are unknown, and they have not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Sandrine and Zachary are being asked to contact the Portmore Police at 876-949-8422, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. That's the local news. Now for the latest weather report and forecast. There is a broad trough across the central Caribbean, including Jamaica. This morning, it will be partly cloudy with possible isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly across eastern parishes. This afternoon and evening will become mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms, mainly across eastern and central parishes. Now for our 3-day forecast. On Thursday, expect morning showers and thunderstorms across central and eastern parishes. It will be mostly cloudy in the afternoon to evening with showers and thunderstorms across most parishes. It will be windy mainly on the south coast. There will be lingering nighttime showers mainly in parishes. On Friday, it will be isolated morning showers and thunderstorms across south, central and eastern parishes. It will be partly cloudy in the afternoon with showers and isolated thunderstorms mainly across hilly areas and western parishes. On Saturday, expect isolated morning showers and thunderstorms across eastern parishes. It will become mostly cloudy in the afternoon with showers and isolated thunderstorms. It will be windy along the south coast. Now, let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Siritsu Communications, connecting homes, connecting lives, connecting multiple platforms through convergence. Check them today by calling 876-333-1927 or 876-333-1926. Siritsu Communications, we are here to serve you better. And now for our sports stories. England's women's football team suffered a setback to their bid to make it to the Olympic Games in Paris with a 3-2 loss to Belgium. The Lioness, who reached the Women's World Cup final in August, sit third in their Women's Nations League table with just 2 matches remaining. It was the third defeat in 5 games for the European champions. Olympic qualification is now hanging in the balance as England, as the nominated nation to qualify on behalf of Team Great Britain, must win their Women's Nations League group to stand a chance of reaching Paris in 2024. There is a full slate of matches in the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup schoolboy football competition on Monday. The Manning Cup teams are now jockeying hard for places in the quarter-final rounds when 2 groups of 4 are to be selected. It's the second set of matches for the 16 teams left in the DaCosta Cup. That's sports in our early morning news package, brought to you by Saritsu Communications, connecting homes, connecting lives, connecting multiple platforms through convergence. Check them today by calling 876-333-1927 or 876-333-1926. Saritsu Communications. We are here to serve you better. We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any event or person whose good story we should highlight, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com or call 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sports. Stand by now for the latest international news, courtesy of the Voice of America.
This is VOA News. I'm Alexis Strope. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi movement has officially entered the Israel-Hamas war. Reuters correspondent Matthew Laratonda reports that the Houthis have declared on Tuesday that it has fired missiles and a drone at Israel.
The declaration came after Israel's military said it intercepted 2 objects in separate incidents around the Red Sea. On Tuesday, its military spokesperson said the launch was their 3rd since the conflict began, seeming to confirm that it was behind an incident on October 19th when the U.S. Navy said it had intercepted 3 cruise missiles over the Red Sea and a drone attack on October 28th, which resulted in blasts in Egypt.
Reuters correspondent Matthew Laratonda reporting. Palestinians reported another widespread outage of internet and phone service in Gaza for the second time in less than a week. Wednesday's outage came hours after Israeli airstrikes leveled apartment buildings and as ground troops battled Hamas militants inside the besieged territory. Aid agencies have warned that such blackouts severely disrupt their work in an already dire situation in Gaza. More than half of the population of 2.3 million Palestinians has been displaced and basic supplies are running low. Also on Wednesday, foreign passport holders were allowed to cross from Gaza into Egypt for the first time since the war began. French police have opened fire on a woman who threatened to blow herself up and allegedly made death threats and spoke in support of terrorism on a train heading to Paris. The shooting Tuesday is the latest security incident in France, which has been on heightened anti-terror alert since a fatal stabbing at a school on October 13th. The Paris prosecutor's office says 2 police officers together fired 8 shots, seriously wounding the woman. You'll find expanded coverage of world news and events on our website, voanews.com, 24 hours a day. This is VOA News. A senior UN official has told the Security Council tens of millions of Ukrainians need humanitarian help under horrendous war conditions. AP correspondent Ben Thomas reports.
Ramesh Rajasingham of the UN Humanitarian Affairs Office notes artillery fire, ground fighting, and airstrikes across Ukraine continue on a daily basis.
The conflict continues to inflict unimaginable levels of suffering.
The war, he says, has displaced 10 million people and
lives are dominated by the constant sound of air raid sirens as unrelenting airstrikes rain down and destroy civilian objects.
Rajasingham says the war is robbing Ukrainian children of education, stability, safety, as well as their hopes for the future.
The mental wounds of the war will undoubtedly affect children well into adulthood.
I'm Ben Thomas.
Dozens of Egyptian volunteers at the Rafah crossing facilitated the movement of aid trucks into Gaza on Tuesday. The officer manager of an aid foundation who was at the crossing, Mohammed Regeh, said volunteers had been waiting for nearly 15 days, but recognized that the flow of trucks has increased in the last few days. The White House on Tuesday confirmed 66 trucks of humanitarian assistance had entered Gaza in the last 24 hours. The General Authority for Crossings and Borders in Gaza said Egyptian authorities told it that 81 Gazans who were severely wounded will be allowed to enter Egypt on Wednesday to complete treatment. Infant mortality is at its highest in 20 years in the U.S. AP Corps reports.
A report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the U.S. infant mortality rate rose 3% last year. The report says white and Native American infant boys and babies born at 37 weeks or earlier had significant increases in death. The report also notes larger increases for two of the leading causes of infant deaths, maternal complications and bacterial meningitis. Dr. Eric Eichenwald, a Philadelphia-based neonatologist, calls the new data disturbing. RSV and flu infections rebounded last fall after 2 years of pandemic precautions, and Eichenwald says that could potentially account for some of the increase in mortality. The national rate rose to 5.6 infant deaths per 1,000 live births in 2022, up from 5.44 per 1,000 the year before. I'm Donna Warder.
Chilean and Colombian governments recalled on Tuesday their ambassadors to Israel for consultations after Israel violated international humanitarian law in the Gaza Strip. Chile called for a ceasefire in the passage of humanitarian aid into the zone and said Israel was violating international law. Colombian President Gustavo Petro called the attacks, quote, a massacre of the Palestinian people in a post on social media network X. I'm Alexis Strope, VOA News.
That was the latest international news from the Voice of America. Before we go, here are the headlines once again. The National Meteorological Service has issued a flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine, effective until 5 p.m. today. Minister responsible for disaster response makes strong defense of ODPEM. Lottery scamming and money laundering continues to be big financial crimes in Jamaica. The Electoral Office of Jamaica is looking for election day workers. Mother and 2-year-old child missing for 4 weeks. The news today came to you courtesy of Hepburn's Glass Supplies. They are located at 13 Chisholm Drive in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
Join us again at 6:30 this evening for the Evening Roundup. I am Kimberly Ashley for NRP News.
Hi there, I'm Leon Nash, CEO of NRP.